In this lesson, we are going to learn about select missing word question type. So, you will hear a recording. At the end of the recording, there will be a beep sound. Okay. The whatever is the last sentence that is incomplete. The last word of the last sentence of the audio is replaced by what? Beep. A beep sound. Okay. So sometimes there are group of words, 2-3 words. The last sentence is incomplete. Sometimes a group of words, a phrase will be there, but usually it is just one word. We need to click on the correct option to complete the sentence. Okay. When I do some examples in front of you, you will get idea. How many questions you will get? Usually 2. Okay. Here I am saying usually 2. Very rarely 1. So expect 2 questions. Number of correct options 1 only. No negative marking. Weightage is low. This contributes to your listening module only. Overall marks are 1 or 2. And here I won't suggest anything. Like if you are thinking, think for 10 seconds or 15 seconds, not more than that. Why? Either you will be answering it correctly or you won't be. Okay, but you don't think like if you spend some time on it and you will be answering it correctly. No. If you are answering it incorrectly or if you are struggling to answer it incorrectly, what it means? You did not or you couldn't hear the last sentence correctly. You don't know the theme of the audio of the lecture or recording. You don't know the theme, what the topic is about, and you did not hear the recording correctly. You don't know what is the last sentence. That is the only scenario where you will struggle. Okay, coming on to suggestions. The moment question is there, read it. What is the question and how many words are there? Okay, and when you are listening, I won't say listen very carefully. Till 75% audio is done, 75-80% audio is done. You just listen. Just try to figure out the theme, whether the topic is healthcare, whether the topic is related to environment, whether it is related to, let's say, science, humanity, whatever. When the audio is about to end, okay, when the audio is about to end, listen carefully. That time don't think of anything else, because if you miss the last sentence, you won't be able to select the correct word. So if you know the theme, if you know what was the last sentence, it becomes very easy to select the correct word. And if you ask me if there is any tip or trick, well, see, sometimes common sense, sometimes the flow of the sentence. Okay, sometimes even grammar can also help you to complete the sentence. Okay, guys, there is nothing for me to suggest you. It's all about practice only. Now, whatever right now I am saying, there is nothing for anyone to teach in this particular question type. But when I am answering questions, I will use eliminate approach. I will use common sense. I will use grammar. How? That I'll explain when I am doing some examples in front of you. Okay. So let's do examples the way we have done in our earlier low scoring questions, multiple choice, single multiple answer, then highlight correct summary. Let's start with the first one. So read all the options: transition, internet, transportation, airlines. That's all.
In the 19th century, there were several periods when large numbers of people moved from one place to another around the world. In many cases, people moved to another continent. These mass migrations were on a much larger scale than any previous migrations in history. One major movement was from Europe to the Americas, Australia, and Africa. This migration of Europeans involved around 60 million people over 100 years. Another mass migration was from Russia to Siberia and Central Asia. Another was from China, India, and Japan to Southeast Asia. These large movements of people were made possible by the new, cheap, and fast means of
Okay, so I highlighted up to this portion. If you remember, I highlighted like this portion and then this portion. What I was trying to show you, like, let's say if this is 75% area, here I got idea it is about migration, movement of people. Okay, till this part means I was just listening. Okay, migration, they moved here, there, I don't remember what he said. Here I was listening carefully. He said like people went from Russia to so and so country, from India and other countries to again some other countries, I forgot. And this was possible only because of something. This was the last sentence. I don't know the exact wording, but the meaning was this mass migration was possible because of transition. Doesn't make sense. Now let's eliminate. This migration was possible because of internet. No, because of transition. Transition is what? Transition, it means the transition, it doesn't go with the sentence. Because of the transition, no, because of some mode. We need to write the mode here, mode of transport. Okay, so this is incorrect. So this is one thing, like we need to, if I go with the common sense, I need to write, I need to select one word which shows the mode of transport. Let's say airlines, cars, buses. Okay, like that. Now let's think from grammatical point of view. No, this migration was possible because of the transition. No, why? It is incorrect grammatically. This is noun here. Okay, the noun will not fit in this particular sentence. So I can eliminate. This migration was possible because of airlines. It did not specifically talk about, railroad or airlines. Because of fast. Now if you remember what he said, because of fast, yes, airline can be fast. Cheap and affordable. Cheap and affordable, what? Cheap and affordable, it can't be airlines, because airlines was not cheap that time. Okay, it was very costly. Cheap transportation, whatever means of transportation, but it was cheap. So I can't go for specifically airlines. Why? Because it can be other mode also. Transition is different. Okay, the meaning of transition is like, transition is basically a process of changing from one state, or yes, one state to another. Okay, that is transition. So grammatically, meaning wise, transition is doesn't fit. This is totally wrong. I can't go for airlines. Cheap, affordable, no, airlines won't fit here. So what is the option for us? Transportation. Okay, now in next question, wait, let me jump on to next one, then I'll explain. So this is what? This is our progress bar of the audio, this one. Till this point, till this point, you just figure out the theme. What is the main topic? Okay, and when the progress bar is somewhat here, you just focus on the sentence. What is the sentence? That will help you to answer this question correctly. Okay, and this time I am not explaining. I will just give you 5 seconds after the audio is over. You have to well, you can't tell me the answer as it is video, but just think about it, think about the answer, and then I'll let you know what is the correct answer. So here I go, start.
In some ways, mental development is related to social development in school-age children. Between the ages of 6 and 12, children move from being able to think only on a concrete level, that is, about real objects they can touch, to being capable of abstract thought. In their social development, children gradually acquire interpersonal reasoning skills. They learn to understand the feelings of other people, and also learn that a person's actions or words don't always reflect their...
Okay, don't always, their action or words don't always reflect their interpersonal relationship. Living condition doesn't make sense at all. Personality maybe don't reflect their inner feelings. Okay, so means go now understand the context here, theme here. So your action, your person, your words won't affect what? Relationship with others? No. Living condition, well, we can directly rule out this one. Personality means if you are with your actions, we can up to some extent we can define your personality. Inner feelings, they are hard to define. So I'll go with what? Inner feelings. Okay, let's jump on to next one. Same here. Uh, till this point, think about the theme, and after that focus on sentence.
Bread and cereals have a long history. The first bread was made in the Nile Valley about 10,000 years ago. The people used stones to crush the grain into coarse flour, and then they made the flour into primitive forms of bread. Primitive bread was not like the bread we know today because it was simply flour dough dried on heated stones. The invention of ovens came later. Leavened breads and cakes, which are made to rise by the action of yeast, were also a discovery of the ancient Egyptians. The Egyptians were the first people to master the art of baking. News of this new wonder food spread to other places in the Middle East. Soon other people were collecting seed, cultivating land, and inventing ways to turn grain into flour. Baking used to be a social activity. While some homes had their own ovens, many families had to bake their dough in communal bakeries. To identify their loaves, each household would make a distinctive mark on the bread, sometimes with a special stamp bearing the family.
So what was the last sentence? Like some had their oven, some had to bake their bread in the community kitchen, and to identify their bread they will leave some kind of mark, or sometimes family what members, are they keeping their family members on the bread? Agronomic standard doesn't make sense. Figures, well, they already said like mark. With family only one word can go, that is surname or family name. So name is the correct answer. Here in multiple choice single and multiple choice multiple, I said like in the exam the questions are going to be a bit difficult. Whatever like I showed you in the lecture, whatever I showed you in highlight text summary, or in whatever I'm showing right now, the level will be exactly same in the exam. If you feel like this was easy, then in exam also you will get easy. If you feel like this was difficult, then consider like exam is also going to be difficult. Okay, and this is our what correct answer. Let's do one more. Read immediately. Certain patterns, the leaders, random events, previous knowledge.
Psychology is a relatively new science. Like other sciences, psychology must be able to state laws. A law is a way of organizing knowledge about something so that we can make predictions. When enough knowledge is gained about a subject, a scientist can state precisely what will happen under certain conditions. We experimental psychologists are interested in developing laws about human behavior, so we'll be able to understand and predict what people do and why they do it. Of course, to develop laws about human behavior, we must assume there's some regularity to it. We can't be psychologists without making the assumption that behavior follows.
The behavior follows certain patterns, yes. The leaders, no. Behavior follows random events, maybe, but doesn't look like this can fit. Previous knowledge, maybe. So what do you think? What is the answer? Certain patterns is the answer. They are trying to understand the psychology of something. So person is doing something again and again, then we will we will infer, or we will make our opinion, okay, he is of this personality. So certain patterns are there. We understood the theme, human behavior, psychology. Last sentence, so I don't remember now the last sentence, but it was like it is followed by like what leader doesn't fit, events doesn't fit, some kind of activity, and where is the activity coming, patterns in. Okay, let's go for one more. Again, read immediately. What are the different options? Continue, despair, suspend, begin. Begin means to start, continue means to continue.
The complex process inside a leaf takes energy from the sun and uses it to convert water and carbon dioxide into sugars. During this process, photosynthesis, plants convert light energy into chemical energy. All leaves carry out photosynthesis in basically the same way. First, the pores on the leaf's outer skin open up and take in molecules of carbon dioxide. Water absorbed by the roots is transported upward through the plant, and it enters the leaf through its stem. Carbon dioxide and water, these are the raw materials for photosynthesis. Once carbon dioxide and water are present, photosynthesis can
Photosynthesis can, once CO2 and water is present, photosynthesis can continue, disappear, suspend, begin. Now think logically, what will happen if those two things are there? What will happen to photosynthesis? Photosynthesis can, what? It can start. It needs to start, then only you can say continue. It can't disappear, that doesn't make sense. Suspend is also it is also having different meaning. It doesn't fit in this context. So this is, I can say, like easiest among these, for 4 low scoring questions. Okay guys, this is all about your select missing word and low scoring questions. 4 low scoring questions were there. So far we have learned one intermediate and one high scoring question, that is fill in the blanks. Intermediate was your SST. From now onwards you have only high scoring questions. Okay, so practice as much as you can. Try to listen carefully, try to understand what is the sentence, and based on that you can easily answer. Otherwise there is no tip or trick here. If you are not able to understand what is the last sentence, you don't know what is the meaning, how you can answer this question? Okay guys, so that's all about this lecture. Now jump to next lecture for highlight incorrect words. That's all. Thank you very much.